What we do is deliver true competence. So we look at skill bases, we look at knowledge and experience, but it's delivered. So we're a vocational training unit, engineering manufacturing niche. So we support engineers in terms of apprenticeships, the new trailblazers, but we also do a lot of upskilling, continuous improvement and quality work as well. There's a massive skill shortage because of the lack of vocational skills. A lot of offshoring in the 90s, but now there's a lot of reshoring. I mean, to have a strong economy, you've got to be building product. And that's happening again now. So the overall GVA of the UK economy, it's coming back, but there's a skills shortage out of about 15, 20 years. So if you look at last year's apprenticeship uptake versus 2016, there was a decline of 61%. We actually saw an increase of 40% through our facilities last year. So we're holding up the UK sort of statistics in terms of apprenticeship uptakes.
Impressive stuff, and it's not about getting degrees, actually people cutting metal and making the parts.
Yeah, and where we're really strong for the old EITB programme is they've got to do 12 to 18 months in the academy first, learning the foundation skills in terms of engineering manufacturing, before they're allowed to be even partake on some of this equipment here that you can see today.
And why are we actually here today?
So today we've launched a new extension, so the £2 million extension to the academy. We already had a £1 million academy next door. We brought on a lot of technical partners, engineering technology group, so on and so forth. As you can probably see today, ABB Robots, Mitsubishi EDM, everybody is sponsoring this facility.
You have to apologise for people who you forgot to mention, but...
Yeah. Well, I'd be here all day.
So what's the next step and your ultimate aim?
Yeah, so what we want to do now is embrace the SME market. So whilst we're a trailblazer provider, we've moved over to the new standards. The local economy and working on Industry 4, well, your OEMs are, but the SME markets aren't. They're still not engaged in automation.
Well, they're still not even on Industry 3.0, is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we want to do is open the doors, come and product develop, come and look at processes and systems, look at the latest technology, use our applications, engineers and programs to come and trial and test new products, R&D, process to see if they can be more productive in their facilities.
So not only getting apprentice engineers through the door, but local manufacturers, get them in here as well.
Yeah, and schools, local manufacturers. We're really supportive of the SME market. We build strong relationships, and that's what we built our foundations on, and that's not going to change. So what we want to do is get our engaged companies, bring more people in. We want to be the sustainability to the SME's growth strategies.
Okay, so it's the simple answer is just knock on the door, get some value.
Yeah, we're going to have an open day last Friday of every month. Come and knock on the door, get involved, come and see what we've got in terms of equipment and intellectual property, and play.
3, 2, 1,
Well, I first visited In-Comm about 3 years ago when I was standing for election here in Aldridge Brownhills. And because I come from a manufacturing background, I was keen to learn about the businesses in the area. And I was really impressed by the work that they were doing, the way they were working with local businesses to develop skills for our area. And since then, I've kept in touch with them and just followed the progress that they've been making. And here we see today, 3 years on, they've opened this new facility, and they've got such a passion and an enthusiasm here for supporting our local businesses, our local industries, but crucially for young people and developing their skills through apprenticeships.
And do you believe that this is kind of filling the skills gap, if you like? Because obviously there's big emphasis on the skills gap, and there's a missing generation of engineers. Is this helping fill that gap?
Absolutely, and I think you're right to talk about that missing generation of engineers and skills that were lost. But so what we have to do now is we need the skills for today. We need to be filling that skills gap, but we also need to be making sure that in order to tackle issues such as productivity in manufacturing and emerging new industries and technologies, that we've got the skills for the future as well. And so that's why centres like this are so important.
What the lab decided from day one, which is why this is important, that we needed to stand out from the rest of the labs. And what we have here is a fantastic heritage.
We don't give public money out to any Tom, Dick and Harry. So there has to be a business case. And we do know that during the last 30 years there's been a process of what we call deindustrialization, where people haven't really invested in skills and maybe there was no industrial strategy. So we as an area suffered, and now we're trying to redress it. So as long as we have a good business case of how we can reduce that deficit, it's not going to be overnight. It's a structural problem, but we're taking the first steps, and this is one vehicle of many to redress the skills deficit.
And the LEP itself has been very successful. Can you quote some figures for In-Comm and for what you've done in the area?
Well, so for In-Comm, I think it's a £1.7 million facility, and we forwarded to them 780,000, which is quite a sizable amount. But what we're hoping at the end of the journey, we'll be able to more than justify that, because we'll have a much more skilled, much more diverse, and a much more balanced workforce.
Brilliant. Great way investing in the community and getting the skill shortage, the gap filled.
And don't forget, we all benefit. So not only does the business community benefit, society as a whole benefits. We have an all-inclusive society, and guess what? UK PLC benefits.
Okay, so what I've done is I've done the training for the trainers. So I've given them all the expertise and all the machines that we can offer so they can deliver them to the apprentices that they've got here, so they have a better working understanding of the CNC machines, which gives them a bigger insight to then go into industry.
So are you going to be based here and train the apprentices?
No, I'll just give a bit of handout when they need it, stuff like that. Say if they've got a bigger group or something, or I'll be there to hand. So,
what would you say to engineers that are looking to get into the industry, and why should they look to get into the industry?
well, I think it's a great industry to get into. The skills gap needs to be closed. There's a space for everyone in engineering, really. As we said earlier, there's a mass amount of population that needs to be put into engineering, so this is a great start for kids to come into, really.
I chose engineering because it's such a big sector, and I love the amount of job opportunities that it creates and the innovation of creating new products.
And in regards to engineering, what are you learning here at this fabulous facility?
I'm learning every aspect of engineering, really, from turning, milling, welding, CNC, everything really.
We found that, having assessed other organisations, In-Comm provides us with the management training, with technical training and apprenticeship training, and all three important to us as a business.
How many apprentices do you have?
Currently we've got about 33 apprentices in total, of which 8 are here, and that was a conscious decision we made last year when we started to move our apprentices from a different organisation to this one, which provides more of what we need.
And are you finding that the skills that they're learning at these centres relevant to the work that you do?
Very much so. In-Comm are very receptive to what we need, and as part of the apprenticeship framework, they have to deliver some elements that maybe not quite what we want, but they're also very receptive and they deliver stuff that we do need on top of that.